So just settle down and let's go for it. Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. And when you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown, moving on to the brow chakra, carry on down to the throat chakra, then onto the heart chakra, and carry on working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, then further down to the sacral chakra, and down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle. Let the energy settle in your body, and when you are ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links to spirit that we need to achieve. We have come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. I would like to start by introducing members of our circle here tonight. My name is Neil, and with me today is Chris, Pam, Sue, Donna, and another Donna, we'll call Donna D, and Adrian. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle and thank you so much for believing in us. As we try to lift our energy levels sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through our mediums, we are focusing and offering you the opportunity to link through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. And if you are happy to link through another medium at the same time as another soul from spirit does, please do so. Where possible, we respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle and with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we look forward to making the connection to the spirit circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for questions to be put to you, please?
Please do not be alarmed of the sensations you may feel in your throat and your face and third eye areas. Please try and imagine a fire in front of you and that you are all connected by your hands.
Hello, good day to you all.
Good evening, you're very welcome.
Hello.
Have you blended sufficiently with Chris to continue?
I have indeed.
Okay, thank you. Before we start on the actual question and answer session, do you have a name you would like to go by tonight?
Julian.
Julian, okay. Just to set the scene, Julian, what I normally do is we like to hear from Spirit with a description of a life that was memorable for you. That doesn't mean it wasn't difficult, but where you had a life, and explain what that life was and what you learned from it, please, if you're happy to do so.
I am. My life is from the South Country, Hastings. 1246. I will make pottery to give to people for gifts, to receive things that I need for the family. Very hard life. But I have a loving family. And work for them and the people of the village. From traders who come and go.
Okay. Did you have a family of your own, Julian?
I did. A wife we lost, but two dear children, and both mothers and fathers from us both lived together in the same house.
What was a high point in that life, Julian?
We would all sing and dance and pray. I would say praying was the biggest part of the journey for the communities, as we would all stand together and pray kept us close.
What religion did you follow?
Christianity.
Okay.
We wasn't far from the house of the Lord, and we would pray every day.
What benefits did you receive from your daily prayers? And how do you see it?
You could feel the Lord's love and protection, and protecting your families from evil. And even though the wife on a sick bed, we knew that the praying was helping her through the pain she bared.
Yeah.
And the love of the family around just kept strong.
So are you saying it was the love of the family and the prayers that actually gave your wife the ability to cope with the pain that she was subjected to?
That's my belief.
Okay, good. In terms of prayers being a high point in your life, was there any particular low point, when you experienced a very difficult time in that life?
You would get ships that would come and try to overrule with trade. Not always good,
No.
but they would bring disease. At all times was hard. All we could do is do things to trade and make things better day by day.
Yeah. How would you compare that life to one that we're all currently living?
From what I see of technology of today, life of man has not really changed. Apart from greed. Greed will unfortunately, as I look at it from here and above you guys now, is like a virus, but it travels through every man, every woman, because they feel that the greed of making more money is the answer, but it isn't the answer. It is love and prayer. You are only on the earth for a short time, and you learn many lessons. But you just need to believe in yourself, pray, and hope all is good. We can only hope all is good for everyone around us and who we know. But ultimately, the journey that we all walk upon takes us from where we are from and back to where we are from. It's a journey, all in between, all desires, or what you choose to do.
You describe greed like a virus, so hopefully, I mean, hope is a big word. Viruses can sometimes burn themselves out, so hopefully we can make advances to reverse the trend. Do you see that happening?
All we can do, my friends, is pray.
Yeah.
Every cycle has a start and a finish. Things will happen and minds will change, and greed will no longer
Yeah.
be on the highest agenda of people's minds. Love will conquer all.
In spirit, Julian, what's your role? What's your role in spirit at this time?
My role is to look after the links of the family, what was
Okay.
and what will be.
So are you part of some of the mediums, guides and teachers?
Yes, I have a big role. In guiding people's energy where it's needed.
Okay. Have you been involved with this circle since its inception?
I've been involved with 3 of you from the time your life on earth begun,
Okay.
and watched you grow and follow the path that you have chose wisely, and share the energy and love for what brings this circle to what it is today.
As a guide, what's been the most difficult aspect of influencing the souls here on the earth plane?
Man's ego and wisdom fluctuates, and even when you send the guiding thoughts through, it doesn't quite always channel to where it does.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the unfocused mind leads down different paths, but ultimately through experiences, it always jumps back onto the original path.
Does it jump back onto the original path because you help it to do that?
We guide it, yes.
Yeah.
And the experience and mishaps of life help people in their minds focus and take different paths. And we just guide and heal. And in return, the person that we're guiding, you find that they hope that things will get better. And with their hope and our guidance, things prevail and head towards what should be.
So from your point of view in spirit, is hope the prevailing word? If you can get hope from a human soul, does that motivate you?
We don't need hope here. But on earth, mankind needs hope.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The mankind.
So the more you experience on the earth plane, you will find that every day the hope grows in each and every one of you. And you will hear it's a word that's used nearly every day in your minds, in your dreams, and in your thoughts.
If enough of us hope at the same time for the same thing, does that help manifest the solution?
It puts the natural track in balance.
Okay.
And mankind will feel the hope and open up, and the energies around become clearer. So the focus deep within prevails. And you will shine. And then the love sets in. And then you'll find that the emotions change and happiness becomes strong again.
To understand happiness, does that mean we have to understand sadness as well?
You need the balance of sadness and happiness, love and hate.
Yep.
It gives you a balance, and you'll always find in times of sadness something will happen, a little shining bright light, even of a fleck of a second, can bring happiness even in the darkest of places. So you need to sometimes stop. Don't have to think about things. Just close your eyes, feel the things around you and feel the energy. And that little speck of glimmer of light will grow brighter and make every individual soul within the vessel, make the vessel happier. We all have that power in us. We just don't always choose to focus on it.
Is that part of your role in spirit in terms of helping human souls switch that aspect of their higher self on?
We do. We focus. Because we are all the same energy. It's the mind and points of the body which stops the human from focusing.
Yeah.
But we heal and work together to make things possible, to help the journey that's ahead of everyone and everything.
Julian, in spirit, for yourself, who guides you or who guides spirit in spirit, helping develop them in spirit rather than on the earth plane?
We are all the same, but we do have higher, in your words, to understanding is higher beings, higher self.
Yeah.
And there is a control of things that are allowed to be said and shown. They do control aspects of information that goes through. But for the vast here, the collective energy, which is one, works the same.
So in a way, is that similar to when I've asked questions and it's not been right or appropriate, I should say, for me to be given an answer? Is that similar? It's all dependent on an individual soul's development at the time?
It is, because
Okay.
some answers are not needed individually for a person that could be within the circle.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Are you happy if I carry on with questions similar to this?
Yes.
Okay. How are new souls created, or are old souls regenerated into young souls to keep the cycle going? Meaning the cycle of experience, the cycle of development.
It's very difficult because new souls are old souls that have never had the journey to the earth's plane.
Okay.
The soul will choose its path and vessel, and the spark of life for the soul will begin when man and woman create life. When the spark happens, that soul and the journey of the vessel begins. Some souls have the journey, and unfortunate mishaps don't complete the journey. So they will go back into another vessel to finish the journey off. And some souls will carry on because the journey and tasks they've taken upon themselves can be set for millions of years.
Okay.
So some
If so-
souls are really, really old
Yeah.
to the human mind and have traveled and made many lives, pastures within their journey.
If souls don't respond to their learning experiences, are they reset to start their experiences again through a new existence?
It's not reset. It's just another path on its journey
Okay.
through vessels, as not all vessels are compatible. On the earth.
Yeah. Who actually takes the final decisions on a spirit's life development and experience plan? Who decides what's right for a particular spirit?
It's not always the choice of the spirits.
Yep.
For man, life is just to be learning. And man rules the vessel. The soul is part of that vessel.
Yeah.
For man's journey of that life in time. The vessel will be gone, but the soul will carry on.
Okay.
But a part of that vessel that is used on its journey takes its energies of which it's learnt and information will be passed on, and we here, you would call it like a library.
Yeah.
It's collective information.
So
And
that
as
library,
man evolves, as
yeah,
man
that
evolves,
library then is accessible by anyone that needs access to it.
yes,
Okay.
and as man evolves, the information used, souls that go back, help bring balance in some places of where it's needed.
Okay. Why do you allow, or why does spirit allow some souls to remain on the earth plane after their human vessel has died?
As you know, we guide, but you find that some families need to feel the presence of their loved ones closer, so the soul will protect and heal and be near the loved ones for what energies it feels it needs to. Should that other soul and vessel pass, then that journey is finished and then the souls will reunite to where they came from.
Okay. So in a way, you're saying when the two souls have both passed out of the human vessel, that's when they jointly return. Is that what you mean?
That's what happens.
Okay. But as mediums come across, let's just say souls that have remained here, how should they help and encourage those souls to leave the earth plane and return to their spiritual home? Or should we just leave them to it?
You can always ask, as the soul is spirit, and mediums can connect.
Yep.
My advice would be these souls have been on that plane for a long time and collectively have a lot of healing energy. So you could use some of this energy, which you do because your senses sense that soul that's within the parameter.
Okay.
Now you can ask for the soul to release itself. But again, unfortunately, generations of souls that have chosen the family path and some that are reborn will keep that soul there till that soul's job is done. So even though we guide up here, we can guide down there. There's no difference.
But isn't there a question sometimes that some souls that choose to remain, they have finished, their family connection has finished, but they've chosen not to return?
That question only comes from man.
Okay.
Not spirit.
Okay. Fair enough on that one.
When the soul's journey is complete, it will go back to where it's needed for its next task and journey. What I'm being shown time for you, you look at it as time, but for the soul, it's a journey. There is no time here.
Okay, yeah, I understand
it could
that.
be on the Earth's plane 2 million years
Okay,
in man's time.
yeah.
That means nothing to the soul. If that helps answer a little bit of that question for you.
Broadly it does, yeah, for me. Who helps spirit in spirit stay positive? Who obviously help us on the earth plane stay positive, but who helps you in spirit if...
We are pure energy, love, light. You will not find negativity here, ever. It's just harmony. And we just bring the balance that's needed. And the Mother Earth is the other energy which helps balance you. And that's what keeps you grounded.
Okay, as mediums, if we ever sense negativity coming from spirit, is that because it's trying to teach us something specifically?
One, it will teach you, but two, mainly the negativity is from somebody that says there's negativity around them.
Okay.
Sometimes they need to be looked at as a person, and then you can help the energies around them, because their negative energy is what you can pick up.
Yeah.
If they were
Okay.
to walk out the room, you would find a calmer presence in the room. When they walk back in the room, you will feel the difference. So they need healing and balance.
I understand that from a human soul's point of view, but I was more, as I said, as a medium, if you sense when you're linking with spirit that there's a degree of negative statements coming, that's what I meant.
A
Is
spirit that cannot always be released from a vessel, because some vessels can trap spirits.
Okay. Okay.
It's unfortunate, and that's where the spirit's energies can feel negative
All right.
because of the entrapment.
Do souls ever stop evolving?
No.
I changed my tact a little bit here, but how can I maximize my influence to help other human souls recognize the comfort of believing life continues after death of the human vessel? Or am I wasting my energy trying to do so? And is it a natural belief process individuals have to go through?
You have been through traumas in your life. And you feel the energies through the path that you have taken. You would know the answer to this, but you should carry on helping people, talking to people, and communicating with their loved souls that have passed, because it's part of healing that the person and their mind needs. It's not wasted. It's just a learning curve for who you are with and helping on their journey.
Yeah.
So it's important, because every Catholic Christian know that life is after death and will carry on forevermore. And from birth, people are shown that way. It's just through traumas where minds conflict. And sometimes they just don't believe, because what they learn through their life's journey. so they switch off. So mediums and the people that understand their path is why we spirits go through them, because the connection and the love is strong.
Yeah.
And when it's a good connection and the mediums trust and believe in what they sense, feel, or hear, will hear the correct answers and messages which will show and help who the messages are going for, believe through the validation and the love that's used for the message at that time.
Thank you for that. I wasn't suggesting we don't believe in what we're doing, but it was worth
No,
giving you the
all
opportunity
believe.
to say it for us. Yeah.
You all believe, you are all here,
Yeah.
but your powerful words and the love and the sheer hope within you helps many that aren't focused enough
Yep.
to see the path and to understand that their loved ones and their energy is there all around.
Why do things not always go to plan in terms of the life plan of spirit's life in a human vessel, for instance, or any other living vessel?
'Cause
What makes it go adrift?
man has free will and choices come within man's life, and not every man will make the right choice. And then the challenges and battles ahead are not always to the thought of what man had planned.
Okay.
So free will and man's choice do change the path of the journey.
Are there other life forms where those vessels don't have free will?
There are many life forms that don't have free will.
So why was man given free will?
It all stems from stories of Adam and Eve. They was told not to do something, but they chose to do something.
Yeah.
And from that moment, the path of the human was made.
Okay. So obviously men rebel, but do spirits ever rebel in spirit? And if they
No.
do, how do you manage them?
No,
Okay.
spirit is pure energy. It doesn't have thought collective patterns like man. The energy is just released where it's needed through the souls and that's all I'm allowed to say.
Okay, thank you. Do spirit and spirit have a cleansing or grounding, in terms of managing their pure energy?
If a soul needs anything, it will go to the elders.
Okay,
It doesn't need cleansing. But sometimes it needs direction.
okay. How does spirit communicate with one another in spirit? Is it just through a sense of blending energies and exchanging emotional feelings?
We have no spirits, feelings, spirits. We all work as one. We all are as one.
I understand the concept of working as one, but I thought you also have your own identities as well.
We do have our own identities. But the information is for all of us. But the ones that go on the earth plane are the ones that bring knowledge back for the time shift of mankind. And sometimes we can portal back to time.
Okay.
And find energy traces that have been lost to bring back for the balance that's needed for today.
Okay. In spirit, does spirit ever embark on what I would call a group outing, with overall group objectives? And if they do, can you give me some examples, please?
Some spirits have chosen to work on certain energies. Some are for information, some are for healing, some are just for the love. Collectively, how we work with healing, as one would say, is when the prayers are sent. You will find that the guides for the person who are needing the healing for when the calling is made. We'll collectively have more than 100 souls working together.
Okay.
For what's needed to help balance and help the person's soul within to help energize the vessel and clear the collective points within the vessel that's needed.
Okay.
So we all work and have a task at hand. And healers of the world will understand and feel after they've called for prayer that the healing will go to where it's needed. And that's what we do in spirit by working together.
Okay.
So your soul and the soul of the vessel and all the spirits work together as one, of which we are, to help share the love and healing that's needed for when it's called out.
As a developing medium, I've learned just to believe and accept that I just know because I do. Is that like a specific state of existence in spirit?
That is how things work. The belief system within your mind
Yeah.
is there for a reason. And it's what makes you tick. And you believing within that is your strength. And all your calls for prayer to help are always answered. And we all work together. And it's very much needed. Without the call, we don't always know where to go. So that's why we listen, focus on the energies that are put out and where it's needed.
All I can say is I thank you all for responding when you do. It's great.
You're part of that. So thank you.
So on the earth plane, we have a saying, keep it simple, stupid. So is that actually an answer on how to get the most out of our lives?
Keep it simple, safe and stupid. The best way and philosophy any man can give. Because life doesn't need to be hard. Life just needs to be simple for you to cherish and enjoy the love and life you have. Materialistic things are not needed. It's just the love and harmony and peace of people around you that will make you attentive.
Do our spirit guides, which includes you, ever get bombarded with unnecessary requests from human souls or demands for attention? And if you do, how can we minimize our requests for help?
The easiest answer to that is there's no end to the energy. So every call is always going to be answered.
Okay.
If you feel it's not needed, it's because it's you that feels that. But then you have to say, why do I keep calling out the same prayer? And in that return, you deep down know that it's needed and the prayers will be answered.
Okay. On the earth plane, then, in taking a life in a human vessel, do souls actually get what they deserve at specific moments in time, be it good or bad?
The soul has chosen its path. And if the vessel has done good or bad, its journey at its end is completed. It's like we go back to the good and bad, dark and light. It's difficult for humans to understand the balance, but negativity, if it's looked at positively, does balance itself out.
Why do so many souls choose to take a life in a human vessel?
The human vessel is different to an animal vessel. Animals on the earth live on instinct, whereas the human vessel is always evolving, growing. And souls who choose human vessels to understand some paths a little clearer. As humans will forever evolve, and it's the only mammal that does.
Is that the reason why human lives are in a roundabout way orchestrated? No, it's purely development purpose.
From when man was created, it was for a journey. And from history of books that you know of, you can see from where man has come to what it has become. And what will be, you will get to see in time when you are here.
Okay. Answering on behalf of the Spirit Circle, is there anything you would like to say to either of us individually or en bloc?
For all of you that work together within this circle, the connection of all your hearts shows love, content, and helps us here in spirit come to answer questions. So the balance of your circle is pure. And if you could see it as we see it from here, you would love that energy. It's collective. One, united, balanced, and cherished by all us souls here. Individually, some of you shine brighter than others, but that is because of some of the doubts within you. And sometimes your vessels, they can fill our burdens with pain, which help stop you focusing. But together within the circle, the healing that we feel from you and we give to you individually and as the circle is what makes you feel better for what you're doing. So we can thank you for that. And the questions that are put forward, we love to answer. And help you to have an understanding that the path you've all chosen is a righteous and a path that keeps you happy, pure, love, and gives you all the hope that you need to make people around you and yourselves feel a little better. So don't doubt any of the negative thoughts that sometimes come to your mind. Just be who you are individually. And even as a group, you work so well, whether you're on your own or in a group. But every time you connect together, you do feel more strength and more love. So enjoy the healing and the peace and keep working together. Thank you.
Thank you for those words. Is it time? Is it time for you to go now, or can I carry on?
I am going to go,
Okay, thank you.
but I do need to say, Donna, keep believing. It's not just your mind. Just believe and trust. You're ready for your next challenge. For that, I bid you all a good night.
Safe journey back, Julian. Thank you so much.
Sabora, good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the circle.
Thank you. I hope
What
you've
did,
been
what did Sabora mean, please, as I heard it?
just greetings.
What language would that come from?
I thought you might ask this. It is from an old text from the area of Greece.
Oh, okay.
I thought I would bring this to you. As I see you have a keen interest in that area.
That's true. Yeah, but I've never heard of that, to be honest. You'll be making me looking that up.
That would be our intent.
I know you like to challenge me. What name did you have in Greece when you lived?
Achaemenon.
You say Mechanicon, if I've got it right.
Achaemenon.
Mechanicon. Okay, thank you. Again, as a short introduction, what was the high spot and the low spot of that particular life?
I would say for that lifetime, the low spot was the end of that life. And the high spot be the journeys that I used to do.
In Earth years, how long did you live?
50 of your years.
Okay. And what was your work?
For me, it wasn't work. I like to travel. I used to just help, to just move around. I would find people that needed help. I would only ask for food and shelter.
So were you a priest or the equivalent, a philosopher?
In some ways, yes. I
Okay.
passed on what I learned and what I knew.
Yeah.
But for me, it was about the traveling, to going somewhere different. Just to meet new people and take in as much as I could through my life.
Did you have a family?
No, I did not wish for a family at that time.
Yeah.
I did meet and help and have fond bonds with people.
Yeah.
I did used to return on occasion to different areas that I'd once lived, but I never stayed overly too long in one place.
In general, was it very violent during the time you lived?
It could be around the
Yeah.
larger areas. I tended to stick to the more smaller villages and coastlines if I could. I did used to go into the bigger cities at the time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would never get a true picture of how people live, react and respond to one another.
How would you say things have changed between then and now? What's your view?
In some ways, very little. And in others, drastically. In the ways that I would say very little, there was still people that were out for just themselves.
Yeah.
And the drastic changes now is more the population size. It's much larger than it once was. The world has become smaller now than then. But the lack of respect people have for the planet they live on,
Yeah.
and their short-sightedness of what is around them
Could one of the causes be because there are so many souls that have chosen to come take a life on the earth plane at the same time?
I think this is also part of the human evolution as well.
Yeah.
Yes, the age and type of soul that is currently on the planet is different. And yes, there are more on there. Some have become accustomed to returning and keep returning rather than taking the lessons that they once used to have. It is almost like an addiction to live in a human vessel. There is much to learn and much to gain. But sometimes you need a change. It can be as good as anything.
Yeah.
And an experience in different things as well. People get stuck in a rut now. They can't just change, and as they once did. They get stuck in the same jobs. They seem to have, I would say they've lost their freedom, but that is not true because you are in control of your own lives. Just need to release the fear of change.
And maybe too many expect too much now.
Yes. Expectation.
Why has greed and expectancy set in so much? What do you put it down to?
In some ways, a lack of faith,
Yeah.
whether that be religion. People used to follow a set of rules and morals. And I think as much as it is good of the interaction between all cultures and on the planet, somewhere something's got lost. Some of the good bits from all the countries and even the individual places in each country, the good parts of their values have gone. It's all got a little bit mixed up.
Mm. Do you see it changing?
I think it will. But I think at the moment, you are sort of living in the storm.
Yeah.
Is how I would surmise it at this point.
Why do we like to party? And should we? You know, we're partying too much. I suppose that's what I'm saying.
Depends on your point of view. A party is good for everybody. It is only when you lose your self-control that it gets out of hand.
Okay, yeah.
But like anything, if you, what was once a treat or some, how can I put it? It is always good to be joyful and happy. But that can be just as tiring and exhaustive as somebody or something that may be on the opposite side in your depressions. Living life on the extremes can be very challenging. And this is what we see more of: people living on the extremities of their emotions. Those that you might say are living it up, and those that are struggling. There seems to be no middle ground, or predominantly there is no middle ground.
In general, that's how life seems to be currently. It's a life of extremes, one or the other. Which is a challenge in itself.
This is why at the moment Spirit are trying to impress on meditation and people connecting to nature. It is to try and bring a balance, to cheer those up that are feeling low, and to calm and realign those that are living on the high energy.
How should souls here realize the importance of sharing their love? You know, how can they actually share it to bring a better sense of balance? What advice would you give?
To share it, they need to accept themselves for who they are, even if it is just part. Then it will be easier to share.
Yeah. Why are human souls then so fickle? You know, but they don't get it.
Fickle, stubborn.
Yeah.
Some are trying to conform to be like others. Again, it is because they're trying to be something and not actually just trying to be them.
Okay.
A lot now are frightened of being, literally just of being. Some are easily led. They need to stand up for themselves. and others are forced no's. They need to realize that they just need to control themselves and not others.
I should have
Yes,
asked. Sorry, you carry
that's
on.
okay. You go. I was only going
Well-
to say that you do need leaders and you do need followers.
Yeah, okay. What I should have asked you is, what's your current role in Spirit? Are you one of our guides, teachers, or do you do something else specifically?
I am what you might see as I would say an overseer, but you might see me as an elder.
Yeah.
I move around. I can help a multitude of people at a time. I am a guide that's here to be asked for help.
Okay. Are you an angel then?
I would not class myself as so, but
Okay.
yes, I do help those that you would perceive to be an angel.
Yeah, okay. Do you ever take a physical form to come and actually help souls here on the earth plane?
I do not necessarily take a physical form, but I can control
Okay.
certain forms to get a message across. A little spark of inspiration, help, or healing
Okay. Lovely.
there is
Thank you.
necessary. You may almost call me a postman as well. When you send out your healing,
Yeah.
I am also one that will help direct it and also redirect it if the energy has not been used.
Okay. Thank you. That makes sense to me. Yeah. At night, when human vessels are asleep, is that a time when spirit comes through and reprograms them to get them back on track? Or even play another part in another soul's life plan?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Sometimes your inner spirit will leave to do other jobs
Okay, right.
and also leave to maybe go for more knowledge. To come back to help.
Yeah. Would we actually realize that they've left? Or is it our sleep pattern stops us from recognizing that?
Yes, your sleep pattern will stop you from recognizing that.
Okay, thank you.
But you may notice it in your dreams. Probably more noticeable in the dreams that where you know you've dreamt but cannot remember what you have dreamt about.
I've been like that for some time now, so. If it's okay, I'd like to change tack now. I said, are there such things as parallel worlds? And do some UFOs actually come to the Earth plane from them? That's if you're allowed to answer. Excuse me.
Bless you. Yes, there are parallel worlds and other dimensions. Your UFOs or sightings of unexplained, shall we say,
Yeah.
they can come from these other places, but the majority will be from your own dimension, your own realities.
When you said other dimensions, does that suggest that other time zones on the Earth plane are a dimension and parallel to this time?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Why do spirits focus so much on their contact with loved ones left behind on the Earth plane? And shouldn't they be focusing on their own spiritual development?
It is one and the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we are all family. We are all one. It is to help and inspire the others. And sometimes our teachings can come from those that are still on the planet.
Yeah.
Even though we've lived lives and we can assist from this side, sometimes we can learn just as much, if not more, from one of our friends, shall we say, that is currently living a life and can show us how to live a life with difficulties and troubles and still manage to get through it without letting it overrun us.
Yeah.
It is not till you come to see it from the other side that you can realize how much can be learned from one living a life as much as you can in spirit, to see the strength that they can find in difficult times.
As some examples, what choices of roles do spirits select from when they pass over? You know, how do you get selected for a specific role, and who confirms that it's right for you in spirit.
You do have a choice. Your guide is also your main guide that you partner up with.
Yeah.
They help because it is also their experience as well. Sometimes that your main guides will change because obviously they need to have their journeys. You would probably say, more experienced soul in your group are the ones that help you choose with your group as well. You will sit and meet your group to see where you can help each other and what and where you may need to gain that experience from.
Okay. So in a way, when we choose our next life, is that next life, are we being influenced by moving in the direction to aid that subsequent development?
Yes, but it also depends on the life that you're currently living and the path that you may take a turn on.
Yeah, okay.
You may have come to learn a specific thing, and you may have learnt that quite early on in that life for whatever reason, or may not, and then learn it later. And it all depends on how it clicks to when you pass, whether you feel you need to do that again in a different point of that life, or whether you're happy that you've learnt that lesson and can move on from it. Sometimes when you're living a human life, you learn something and you think, that's it, I've learnt it, I know how to do it. But in spirit, it is looked upon differently. Sometimes we might try that 3 times to learn the same thing because we try to get the understanding that you can learn one thing many different ways. But because we don't have time in spirit, it doesn't matter.
Welcome. Have you come to join us?
A bit of prayer has just been said.
Okay. Could you translate that prayer for me, please?
That love from above is always around to tap into this is just a spoken word.
Thank you for that. It's very meaningful.
I think on that note, I will bid you a good evening. I think that was a beautiful prayer, almost a poem, I would say.
You said very meaningful, very, very meaningful.
It has been an experience that I've enjoyed this evening. I often come and sit on the group.
You're very welcome, and we're pleased that we are blessed by all these visits anyway. That's how we see it.
I think the blessings go both ways, to be honest.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful few days until we meet. I will be watching. I will be around.
Thank you for looking after us. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. And it is lovely to see some new people and some old faces again in the group.
Good.
Take care. Be strong.
We will try. Time for us now to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us. That includes our personal guides and for the additional advisors that have joined us here today to give us the benefit of their wisdom. Thank you so much for your continued support, which we all fully appreciate and value. We do look forward to linking up again with you next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 to 3 minutes until I call you back into the room, everyone. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have, close it down to break your link with Spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra, then to your heart chakra. Move it down further down to your solar plexus chakra and onto your sacral chakra, and then to your root chakra. Allow this surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet and ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you're sufficiently grounded and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room. Before I stop this week's recording, Pam has been charged by Spirit as being our eyes during the period we have linked tonight. So I'd like to give Pam the opportunity to say whatever she feels she's been charged to say. Over to you, Pam.
Thank you, Neil. Now, tonight I was taken through a portal, and that which took me past many, many other worlds, and that some were similar to Earth, and that so it was showing that there are other planets that are like Earth. Then I was shown what looked like a very long tube, if you can imagine a very long tube, and that, but it's light, but the light was curling around, and that the light was flowing up and down. It's continuous. Now the message that they gave me is that we should all follow the light. Okay, and then they said we each have our own path to follow. If we follow the light, we will be on the right path. Our paths do not always go in a straight line, which is shown in the way the light was shown to me, which was all curved around. So thank you for that. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. And on that note, I shall end this week's recording. We look forward to you joining us for another recording next week. Goodbye for now.